everybody. Okay, today's just a short little video. No fancy intro, no little cutesy stuff inserted, just down to the basics. I talked to you guys about doing edge painting last time, and I didn't forget. I held off on purpose. I ordered some stuff that I wanted to use in the edge painting so that we can do a little comparison. So today I wanted to share that with you. And let's start with what came in the mail today. So I do have, well, I guess I should back up. I do have edge paint on hand here that I've used before, but I've been wanting to try something different. So for those of you who have tried before, it's Angelus acrylic paint for leather, and we're going to work with black, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So we're going to compare this one to I also have some basic adhesives, matte black, that I've used in the past before, and I do like both of these. But I've been hearing all this hype and all this stuff about Giardini edge paint, so I ordered some. They have this amazing little sample kit you can order, and I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not affiliated with them. I ordered it because I wanted to try it. And it was really neat because it's like, okay, you order this little, or what I thought was little, sample kit, and you just pay for the shipping. It does, however, I live in the US, so it's coming overseas, so the shipping isn't exactly cheap, but it's not, I would definitely not call it expensive. I want to say it ran something like $32 US, but this is the amazing part. This is what you get. And I was thinking, I'm going to get some little sample bottles. But let me show you guys what I got. So, in this box, there's 4 of these bottles. I mean, can't beat it. There is, let's see, I need glasses. There's 4 of these bottles, 250 milliliters each. And this one is the extra matte top coat. So you get a top coat to use, which I'm really excited to try all of this. You get the protecting gloss, which is also 250 milliliters. And you get the dense edge paint in the black color. And that was the whole reason why I said we're going to do this all in black, so that we have a color to color comparison, so we can kind of see what we think of each one. And then you have the semi-dense edge paint in the black as well. But look at this. I mean, these 4 samples, I expected something that size. And I was just like, wow. So I'm really impressed already. So right there, I was just like, wow. Okay, the reason I ordered that one was for 2 reasons. One, I've heard good things about it. It's used by a lot of big handbag designers. And a tool that I don't have yet, and hopefully we'll get later, is this can also be used with I don't know if you've seen them, it's like a heated embossing pen, but you can use it for creasing. You can use it on your edge paint too. That'll come later. So that's kind of why I said, let's wait and we will do that. Okay, so when I was waiting for this stuff, I was like, okay, what tools do we use? We have tons of different tools we can use, but, and everyone has their favorites. For the most part, over the past few years, I've been using just one of these little edge painting pens. As you can see, mine's pretty dirty. I need to get it cleaned up, but it gets a lot of use. And it's hard to see, but let's see if you can see those little ridges on there where the paint gets caught into it. Right there, you can kind of see it there. And that kind of grabs your paint so that as you're edge painting, you roll it across and it lays your paint down. But I have been known to use a chopstick, and I really suggest people trying different things, or my handy dandy paintbrush. I use the skinny end of the paintbrush sometimes. That little piece of hair is driving me nuts there. Sorry. Okay, so that's just some of it. So thinking along those lines of how I wanted to do the edge painting for the comparison, I was like, okay, I've always wanted one of those little pots with the little roller on it that you can try. You guys are going to laugh at me. So I ordered one off of Amazon. And tomorrow I'll do some edge painting and I'll post all the links of the things that I did purchase so that you know where to find them. And like I said, I don't get paid for these. I'm sharing this with you because I wish somebody would have shared this with me when I started. Okay, so let me show you my edge painter. I was thinking, you know, little edge painting pot, maybe something about the size of, 4 inches, something like that. Well, to my surprise, and it's actually kind of neat. Let's see if I can get this open. And don't laugh. Okay, this is what I got in the mail. This little itty bitty edge paint roller. It does come with a second little wheel. The first one here has the little lines across to catch your paint in it. It's interchangeable. The second one has more of like a hex mark looking little roller, which I'll have to test these both out. But let me show you how small this is. We're talking 1 inch, 1 inch here by 1.5 inches. So if you see this on Amazon, it's cheap. It wasn't expensive. I was, can't beat it. So let's try it. I did not read dimensions. I ordered it thinking, oh, big deal. I think it was like $5 or something. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up and I'll let you guys know. But we'll test this out. Okay, so I guess if you're actually painting just a small item, the little pot for the area where you stick your paint in, it's actually probably a good size and you won't waste a lot of paint. However, if you're doing something larger and you're going to have to keep refilling it is going to be the issue. So that was that. So then with that, people have been asking like, well, how thick is the Bondtex? How thick is your leather? So I've never really, other than, when you order leather, I order it by whatever size it is. And I generally go by ounces. Some people go by millimeters. So originally, I bought one of these from Tandy. Little wooden measuring tool. And, I don't use it a whole lot because I kind of go by what I like more than, I guess, size. But there you go. And it does measure it. However, I took this tool and I thought to myself, well, I want one of those digital tools. So on Amazon again, I found myself this little digital tool. I think it was like $5, $6. I can't be positive. Like I said, tomorrow I'll post the links to where I got these and what they cost. And you turn it on and there's a little button here. You just zero it out. And then you can put your material in there to measure. And I thought, well, it's kind of cheap. There's a little battery that goes into it. And is it accurate? So I took this, and I ordered another one, also not very expensive. How accurate it is as far as leather goes isn't a huge thing for me because I make and design my own bags, so I want to pick the leather I like, and I'm a tactile person. I want to touch it. I want to know what kind of a hand it has in it, whether, if it's stiff or soft. So I kind of go by that because I can always skive it down if I need to. So I ordered this one, also from Amazon, thinking, well, it doesn't run on batteries. It is, it should be fairly accurate, kind of like a scale. If it starts at 0, let's see where it goes. So when you get this one in the mail, and they're all nice and tiny. So I love it. I can stick it in my purse when I go somewhere and take it with me, either one. And you'll get this one. I was like, okay, now how do you open this thing? So then I was like, oh, you screw this little thing up and it pops open and gets it ready. So there you go. It goes from 0 to 10. There you go. And technically, if you push really hard, I believe it goes, oh no, it goes 0 to 10. I didn't have it right earlier. I was looking at it wrong. Okay, so there you go. So then I took all my materials because I've had a few people ask me, how thick is the Bondtex? I go by size, but, if I were to measure it, and each one is slightly different. So like on my Bondtex, the thinnest one that I use like on zipper stays, it's real flexible. That one measured out with the digital. I took the Bondtex, I measured these out. This is the soft one, the thinnest one I have, the 014. And for those of you who are needing some, I have more coming in. This is the product that I promote on my YouTube page because, yes, I do sell it. Full disclaimer, I use it, but I sell it. Okay, so the Bondtex, this is the 014, and with the digital reader, I measured that at approximately, let's see, where do I have that? 0.37. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure that's what I had it at. See, so you just push that down, put it in there. 0.38 is what I got on there. Can you see that? It's backwards too, guys. Sorry about that. So that is, and that's millimeters. So that is that one. Then after that one, I have the 0.20, and I did the same thing. And just to give you a variation, this little one here, I'll stick it in here, hold it down, and I have this one at 0.51, give or take. So there you go. So they are pretty close and accurate. These thinner ones, I cannot measure with the wood one. It does not go that small. So I don't have, and I'll be honest, the wood one, I don't think is quite as accurate, and I'll explain why. So then I have the 3.0, let's see, where's that one? The 3.0 is measured out at 0.78 millimeters. So that's the 0.030, sorry, Bondtex. Like send me to that crazy stuff. Okay, so then, sorry, it's late. Okay, so then we have the 0.040, and that one measures out at, let's see, and I will say that when you're using these, make sure you're doing it on a nice flat spot. It makes a difference. Like if you're doing it in the curve, it kind of throws it off a little bit. So this one measures at 0.92, and this is our 040 Bondtex. And then the thickest one I carry, pretty stiff, is the, I would use this one in like, I don't know, I haven't used a box bag. Not in a visor, I think it's a little bit too thick for that. Okay, so throw that one in, and that one gives me a 1.45. Can you guys see that? Sorry. Oh, 4.4, it changed a little bit on me. Okay, and so that's where those are at. This one, in the wooden one, the 0.050, will measure out, and that's why I'm going to tell you why I don't think this one's as accurate. When I put this one in, this one actually measures closer to like a millimeter, which is way different than the other two. And the reason I think this one is not as accurate, it's wood. Wood expands and shrinks. And if I take this, it squeezes. So I just feel like it's not as accurate. And I've taken this, oh, and you know, these little calipers for measuring stuff are also good with leather, of course. And so like this one here is a 5 to 5.5 ounce. And when you're ordering leather, it's going to have a variable because it's a skin. It's not always going to be exactly consistent. So I measured in a few different spots, and what I came out with on this one is a 2 ounce. So this is pretty accurate on the leather because this a 5 to 5.5 ounce is going to be 2 to 2.2 millimeters. So that was pretty accurate. Then this one here is also another which is going to be the same thickness, 5 to 5.5 ounce. And if I measure it with the regular little caliper, okay, sorry about that. The regular, this one measures in right at 2 as well. So, like I said, I'm feeling like these two are fairly accurate. Maybe in a few months or at some point soon, I can order a higher end one. They have some that run like $20 to $50 and higher. And, you know, I'd like to see, does it really work? Is it any better to spend that much money on it? We'll see. So, I have this one here. This little piece of leather here is I wrote on it somewhere here. This is a 3 ounce leather. And this one, it says, should be 1.1 to 1.3 millimeters. And with this one, this comes out at 1.2, right on the money. With this one, it measures out at 1.16, which is still pretty dang accurate. This one has, you can feel that spring loaded in it. And that's why I said there's a little bit of variable. This one you're using your finger pressure to push that down. So then, let's see. So that gives you an idea with those, just to see where the accuracy is. And then if I take this, and we'll do the 3 ounce again. This wooden one, when I take it in, this one's telling me, oh, let me turn it around so I can actually see it. It is right at, like I'd say 2.5. So like I said, I really don't feel like this is accurate. It's a good starter. That's what I started out with. And unless you have to be completely accurate, I think it's good to start with. So, oh, and just one more thing. This one comes in this cute little carrying box. Apparently, you know, from China, as you can tell. You know, most things come from China. No big deal. But it's nice. It has a nice little carrying case for it. And this one just came wrapped in plastic. But, you know, you get what you pay for. And for the purposes of what I'm using it, it works just fine. But, like I said, I'm really excited. And I have another item I want to show you guys at some point, which is the marking pens that I use. And I have showed it on another video, but I want to do a comparison on that at some point with some different choices with that too. But let's just, tomorrow I will see you guys. We will do edge painting and see how that goes. See you tomorrow. And if you don't want to miss them all, subscribe down below and hit that little bell so that you get the notification. Thank you for visiting Lisa & Company. Talk to you soon. Bye.